In today's video, I'm going to show you how to use NOTEBOOKLM. Now, if you're not familiar with NOTEBOOKLM, this is a tool from Google and it is pretty amazing. In summary, let me quickly show you what NOTEBOOKLM is all about before I dive into showing you the tool and explaining to you how I use it every single week in our homeschooling lessons. Now, yes, I use it in homeschooling lessons, but it's also an amazing tool to use in your business. My name is Joy Nicholson and welcome back to my channel. And this channel is about teaching you and helping you to stay authentic and ethical in using AI. I bring the best tools and resources for you to use, and I've tested them, and I'll show you how you can use it best in your personal life and or in your business. So before I share my screen with you, please do me a favor, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future videos. Before I show you how NOTEBOOKLM works, let's go into the definition of what NOTEBOOKLM is. NOTEBOOKLM is an AI-powered learning and research tool from Google that analyzes documents and sources to help users summarize, understand, and connect information. It can transform documents into various formats like briefings, study guides, and even podcasts. Now it's time to share my screen with you and show you exactly how we use Google LM in our homeschooling. If you have an email address with Google, you already have a NOTEBOOKLM account. It doesn't matter if you've got a personal address or a professional address, email address that is, you will already have an account. So what you need to do is go to notebooklm.google.com. And when you do that, you will have a prompt to actually log in with your email, and then you go ahead and do that. And this is where you basically get to this screen. As you can see, I'm already logged in. So then you go to Create New. When you go to Create New, you will see you can add all kinds of resources. You can create documentation with a link, a website, a YouTube video. You can copy and paste information. You can pull things from Google Documents or Google Slides, or you can even do Google Drive Direct. And you can see there's a source limit up to like 300. So, well, I think that's the characters. But I have done many resources in the past. So it was more than enough to create what I needed without actually reaching this limit. So this term, I'm teaching my children communication. And what I do with Google LM is I am going into YouTube, because obviously YouTube is being owned by Google, so this makes it lots easier. And it's one of the reasons that you can actually upload links to YouTube videos, and it makes it so easy. And I would go and find videos on communication. So let's, for example, use Vin. I think his videos is incredible. I think it's very smart the way that he presents, and
if you want to,
it's also fun to listen to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the link to his video that he's got here, and I'm going to go back into Google LM, paste this link in here. As you can see, there's a button on the left that says add. You go to add, and then it's going to give you an option for a YouTube video. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take that video and you're going to paste it in there, and you're going to say insert. Now what Google LM is doing, or NOTEBOOKLM is doing, it is transcribing that in some way, shape, or form. Obviously, you can add lots more resources until Google basically tells you that you can't add any more resources. But for the purpose of this example, let's just stick with one link. But if you feel like it, you can add more links, you can add websites, you can add copy and paste text, you can do Google Drive. All of that's like I showed you before. So on the right-hand side here, you have different options. You can add notes, study guide, briefing documents, timeline, or you can create a deep dive conversation. Now, this is the podcast feature. And if you want to teach your children or anybody in the office or just yourself on how to actually learn a topic, I think the deep dive conversation is absolutely fantastic, because it will take this document that you've uploaded or this video, it will transcribe it in some way, shape, or form, and then it will have a conversation on that. So I'm going to generate the deep dive conversation. It takes a few minutes to do that. And while it's generating that, I'm going to also ask it to create a study guide, a briefing document, some facts and questions, and also a timeline. As you can see, it's creating all sorts of documentation. You can also create a mind map. Now, I personally love mind maps, and the mind maps that NOTEBOOKLM creates is really amazing. You can also do an audio overview, and you can also add more notes, and you can save to notes. So this is basically Google's Note that you can save to. And you can see this is still doing its creation on this. So the next one that you have is analytics. So it's going to obviously tell you don't have that. I'm just showing you all the buttons while we wait for this to be created. You can share this with other people. So you can share it within your organization. You can share it, the link to somebody, etc. And you can also obviously look at all your different settings that you've got. And here on this side, on the right-hand side, there's an option to enhance communication, like that's obviously the brief. And this is the mind map. How incredible is this? And you can see that there's the video mindset shift for nervousness, not self-conscious. You can see the power of storytelling, and then you can see there it says critical in job interviews, benefit of storytelling, opportunities. So if I open that up, it will say at the start multiple other opportunities, example, etc. And it is just incredible, and it just goes on obviously until it ran out of things to mind map about that is part of that content. So that is just absolutely so much fun. So let's get back to the screen and let's play.
Welcome to the deep dive.
The deep dive.
You're here because, well, you're looking to seriously upgrade those communication skills for 2025. And you want to get there fast, but also, really get it.
That's exactly what we're aiming for today.
Yeah. So today's deep dive.
We've been digging into this really great YouTube talk by Vin Jiang. Our plan is to pull out 6 powerful mindset shifts. Things that go beyond just tips and tricks.
Right, not just surface stuff.
Exactly. We're talking fundamental shifts.
I like how Vin puts it like, you can read cookery books all day long. But until you actually get in the kitchen and start, messing around, making mistakes, you're not really cooking.
You won't become a chef that way, no.
So...
And it just carries on like that for the next 12 minutes. And it is such a fantastic way to teach topics to your children because it's a really good communication. And what I would do is I would do all of this stuff and we'll go for a walk and I'll just play it and then I can listen while we walk or something like that. And that, my friends, is Google's tool called NOTEBOOKLM. It is such a fantastic resource for homeschooling, also for your business. And even if you don't have your own business, for study notes, or even if you are employed. But also make sure that before you upload any documentation in an employer capacity, that you double check that with your boss because you don't want to breach any ethical laws or rules, and never ever upload any personal documentation or information into any AI tool. Stay ethical, stay safe, and I'll see you on the next video. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Be blessed.